In this video, we're going to look a little bit at flow control or program flow. In other words, how does the program actually get executed in Ruby? So we're going to keep on using our little book class that we've used in previous videos here. And we're going to use IRB from the command line in a second. So just to review, this is our book class, and I've actually changed it a little bit. I've added two things down here. I added this puts hello, and I added another class declaration on here called magazine. So let's go ahead and launch IRB and load that file. And I wanted to point out something here. If I just put load without a file name, it's going to give me an error. I got to make sure if I'm using load to put the whole file name in there. You could put a path in there too, it works. So I'm going to hit enter here and think about a second, just looking at this, what's going to happen. And make a guess, and then I'll hit enter here, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully you got your guess now. Well, there you go. It's obvious it executed this put statement right here. So if we think about it, it must have gone through, looked at these declarations, accepted those, hit this one, done that one, and then gone down here and accepted that class declaration. So let's make sure. Let's go in here and see if we can do declare a magazine, which would be a new method. We've been doing book the whole time here, but let's see if we can do this. Sure enough, it recognizes that there's a class that we've declared down here and we can use it. Now, can we access this puts method anyway? No, it got executed one time and it's set up. So there may be instances where you'll find this valuable, but the way to think about how this gets loaded up is that these class declarations get added into essentially the object tree of the current Ruby interactive shell that's running, if that's the case, or the current Ruby session if it's like a program that you're running and you include other things in it. So once it gets in that declaration, it hits this next statement, it just executes it, and then it continues on. Well, this one, it doesn't. There's nothing here. It's not going to care about this after it executes it. It just does it. Whereas these, it actually adds those into its little class hierarchy of what's going on. So let's create a new file here, and we'll just say in here, let's do a load book.rb, and then I got the wrong parenthesis. There we go. And then let's say b equal new book dot new, and then b dot, get my right things here. We'll just do something simple here, test, and I'm gonna save this out here. Let's just call it test.ruby. Make it easy. And now I'm gonna run over to I'm gonna exit out of here and make sure the file's there. There it is. Now we'll just do a Ruby and then test and see what happens. And we got that hello. We got that to come up. Isn't that interesting? But let's do this. Let's add one thing in here, and let's do a puts b dot get ivar. And let's run it again here. Now we're getting some more behavior. We get that test coming out. So it's apparent what's happening here. Or maybe it's not. I guess that's my job to explain it. Shrink this up a little bit so we can see these screens here. So I'm running this program right here. I've asked it via this terminal to run. So it goes ahead. The first thing it does is it loads up this file, which is down here. So it loads up these declarations. It hits that statement there, goes ahead and prints out hello. We get that. Then we set that ivar, and then, well, actually we instantiate a new book before we set the ivar, and then we set this ivar to this value of test, and then we go ahead and get the ivar, and then when we are getting that value, then we turn around and put that into this puts method call, and that prints it out. So you can see here how that program flow works. So when we actually did the load here, it executes this. Now, just to be sure that you believe me here, let me go and comment these out. So the only thing that happens is this load, and I'm going to go ahead and rerun it, and there's my hello. So you see it didn't depend on this because that's up here. Let's go here and just let's just see what this is going to do and just play around with it a little bit and see if it does anything. Now you see it went through, executed that, and continues on. Now let's go and do a new one there. See if it... Now, I guess my question would be, are you thinking that it's going to execute once or twice? Let's give it a try. Just once. So that new simply goes out, gets these class attributes, method call, and so forth, and creates an object from there. So that's a little bit about program flow.